I remember that season, especially like with you. I remember when we got there, we're waiting for your time to come up. They finally call you back. And all of a sudden we go to the back, the holding area. In the holding area, they had all the people you guys were about to fight right there.
Me and one other girl.
That Chola chick, she had just the one braid and like she's over here just kicking the clapper, bam, and it's smacking. And I'm like, you got this, Grace. And me, I'm like, oh shit, my student's about to get knocked out. That was like.
And I don't remember why, but going into that fight was probably the most confident I had ever been. And I think it's because I was watching her. I was strong, but I knew I was faster.
Yes.
That was my weakness, was I wasn't the fastest. Okay, I know I can take a hit.
That's why I called you Bone Crusher.
And I know I can hit really hard. My problem was I was not always as fast as the other girls, but this girl, I was like, oh, I'm faster than her.
When she was kicking that thing, I was like, ah, crap, you might be in for it. But then when we got on that mat, you started going. I was like, oh, let's go, come on. And like, you hit her in the head, bop, bop, bop.
And then she
go.
hit me, and then we tied. And then I got one right before it ended, and I was so excited. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I won.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the MAQ Attack podcast, where martial arts attack life, past, present, and future. This is the first one in the series I'm going to be going, and you know, what better way to start off this podcast than with one of the people that are most important in my martial art journey, one of my longtime students. This is my friend, Grace. Say what's up, Grace.
Hi, my name is Grace, longtime student.
Yes, so we were talking a little bit ago, and you were starting when you were 7?
Yeah, I think I was 7. The martial arts place was behind my house. So when it opened, my dad was really excited because he is a correctional officer and he's working with not always the nicest people. So the whole thing was that I was only supposed to go I think they only signed me up for like 3 months, and they made it very clear to my first instructor that self-defense.
Yeah.
That was my dad's whole thing. He was like, I want her to learn how to kick. I want her to know where to kick. I want her to know how to get away if she has to. Those were his big rules, or that's what he requested.
None of that fluff, just the real learn how to fight, learn how to defend yourself stuff.
Yeah, so it was just like a couple of classes, even just to see if I liked it. And I was like super against it at first too, because my mom started me out in dance, and I was like, martial arts, that's a boy thing. But my teacher was a girl, and that's why my mom also signed me up, because it was a female teacher, and she like met her, and she was super confident and really pretty, and like she like
Maria, right?
Yeah, it's Maria. I didn't know how to say her name. Another thing that was really nice was like she didn't have like this stereotypical like body type either, because I wasn't like the thinnest kid either. So she was like, okay, what a perfect role model. She's confident, she's pretty, like she is just exuded a lot of factors that my mom wanted me to have. So she was like, perfect, throw her in there. And she was strong and just had a great personality. So my mom just put me in.
Definitely. I love Maria. I've been training since 98. She was training way before then. She had already was close to her black belt when I first met her. I remember when I first met her, she and I joined the competition team that we would call the Junior Olympics. And I was this short little 9-year-old, short as hell. And she is as tall as she is now. Like she was already like at her almost, because she's like 16. And she's a lot older than well, not a lot, but she's older than I am. And they had us on the A team, B team. We never did that with you guys, but like there's an A team and B team. Back there's like the A team, they're good. B team, you're not. You got to work your way up to the A team. So our first Sunday morning train, we used to train at 6 o'clock in the morning. And they had all of us B team members in the pad room, and it's no lights. So we're sitting in the dark. In the dark, watching everybody on the mat where it's all lit up. They're fighting each other. So we're watching the A team beat the crap out of each other. Just round after round after round. All of a sudden, all right, spread out. B team, go find an A team member to fight. I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So she was the first person that was available for me to fight. And she's like, I'm looking at like Jurassic Park. Like, I just hear the music in my head. I'm looking at fighter. She just brings this giant axe kick all the way up and hits my head. I go down her head. Her foot follows my head to the floor. Like, it was brutal. Brutal, but like that's how it was. We trained like that. But again, like you said, Maria was just an awesome person. I still know her today. We still work together today, and she's a great role model, amazing person. Like she doesn't put up with a lot of crap, but even like over years, she's learned, to be like even like not as more gentler. Because we used to be hard-nosed instructors for a long time. But she's a little gentler, but she still has that like old school mentality with a lot of stuff too.
Oh, and I looked up to her so much. Like, I think it was, I don't know how old I was, but basically I got in big trouble. I was, I think, like 9 or 10, and I had gone to school and I forgot to turn in my homework and got these things called incompletes. And you had to get your parents to sign it, and I did not like getting in trouble when I was younger. So myself was like, bingo, big idea. I'm gonna sign it myself in pencil and copy my dad's signature.
You use pencil?
I was like in 4th grade.
Okay.
And I remember my mom was like, your punishment is, because at this point I loved going to martial arts. I went 4 days or 5 days a week, sometimes 6.
Oh, you joined the Black Belt Club, right?
Yeah, and I was there all day. I would help out with classes, whatever. And my punishment was I wasn't allowed to go for a month. And I had to go and talk to her, and they had to skip one of my tests. We had she was like, you can't do that next time. You can't do that again. And I remember being so sad that I had to tell her about it. And I was just like, I disappointed my mentor. I wanted to be just like her, and I made her mad. that was like almost worse than my parents being mad at me.
Dude, like there were certain coaches and my master, my master, if I ever did anything wrong or bad, my mom would say, all right, you're going to go tell Master King. And no, and a couple times she made me do that, and it was like the scariest thing to do. There's 2 things I never wanted to do: make my mom cry, or tell Master King that I did something I wasn't supposed to. That was my biggest fears back in the day. So I was a square back then because I had 2 big motivators, and my mom, she used that crying on. She was, I think my mom could cry on purpose, because there's times when I did something, she'd act all hurt, and all the tears come down, and I just felt so horrible. But that's, martial arts for me, again, it was one of those things too, where if I messed up, it would get taken away from me, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I really did. Going multiple days a week, we have 2.5 hour trainings on the weekends for competitions. We're going to competitions every week. It was so much fun. I think it really, and my mom says this to this day, I think martial arts saved my life. I grew up in Seven Trees. Seven Trees, Southside San Jose, that's where I grew up. And a lot of the people I knew, they were doing all the craziness. And, when I wasn't at Taekwondo or football, I was at the park hanging out with my knucklehead friends, and they were doing all this different stuff. But, whenever they would go off to do something, I was like, crap, if I mess up, I don't get to go to competitions. We don't go to Florida for competition. We would travel. I wasn't going to lose all that. So it really kind of kept me away from being a gangbanger. A lot of my friends did, or just a knucklehead drug dealer, doing things like that. Yeah. Not all of them did stuff, but a good amount of the people I was close with kind of went that way. So it was a great way to kind of keep me, on a straight and narrow path.
Yeah, see, I was the opposite. I went to a little small Christian school. My class had 14 kids.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, it was really small. From kindergarten to 8th grade, we knew each other the whole time, basically. So it was nice having martial arts as my outlet, because we had just kids constantly coming in, new kids coming in, people I could meet, which was great, because being in that little religious school bubble, you don't get to meet really any new people, because it's the same kids in every single class. And I was super sheltered. I think about it now, and even with martial arts, I think about my freshman year of high school, and I was so sheltered. It wasn't even funny. Oh my gosh, I had to be unbearable. I think about it, and I'm if I had to meet me today, I just know I would be please just
I remember having a conversation with you guys and all my other students, dude, when you guys get to high school, and you go to, because ones that would go to a public school from different ones, you're going to be in for a culture shock, because regardless of what high school you go to, you can go to the nice one, you can go to the ghetto, they all have their different areas where it's you're dealing with 50 to 60 different types of people, different groups of people. It's a lot. And I think martial arts kind of helped me with that, because I grew up in the ghetto area, but then I also had to deal with the rich and really religious people in the martial arts world. And that even would help teach private schools.
Yeah.
And man, it was a fun experience, but I could not stand them little rich kids. I like my homeschool community over my private school community, because, these kids were so entitled.
Yeah.
I remember teaching at a private school one day. My master would pick me up from middle school, drive me to a bunch of different private schools, and I'll help him teach. And one kid, I guess his family had a scholarship, because I guess they worked for the school. So the kid that was one of the kids in the class, wasn't rich like all the other ones. And a kid legitimately, I was walking into the room, and she's like, you're not even supposed to be here. You're poor, and spit on the kid. And I'm 13 maybe, and I flipped. I went up to that kid, grabbed him by the shirt, and pulled him in. Don't you ever, and I'm yelling don't you ever. I don't care how much money you think you never treat somebody like that, this and that. And I'm a 13-year-old kid, and that just set me off. Because I'm from a lower income neighborhood. My mom made good money, but she was the only one, doing the income. So it's like, we didn't live rich. So I'm like, you don't ever do that, this, and that. And then now I'm like, oh crap, I just yelled at this little kid in front of their teachers, in front of my master. I thought I'm about to turn around and like, I'm in trouble. And I turn around, my master's like, yeah. And the other teacher was like, looking like, kind of like impressed, like, I don't have to say anything to this kid because you just ripped him apart for me. Because it was like, there's some of these kids are entitled. Yeah. You grow up with money, you think that you just kind of do whatever you want. Yeah,
especially growing up in the neighborhood I did, like, you see a lot of different areas of wealth because depends on whose point of view it is. Some people would look at like my family and we were able to afford me to go to martial arts. I'm from kindergarten, 8th grade, I went to private school. For high school, I went to public school, but I was able to go to private school. We would go to get to go to Disneyland and go on like summer vacations. But we were never like the family that's flying first class. We were never the family that's going to the highest end hotels. So obviously there's kids who can't even afford martial arts. They can't afford to go on summer vacations. And then you have the other kids who are like, I go to Paris on a private jet for summer vacation.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
It's like different, at least from my point of view, because I was very like in the middle. Like the private school I went to was not a super nice private school. It was obviously still private, so you had to pay out of pocket, but it wasn't the most expensive. The reason I went there was because my dad had gone there when he was younger, and my grandparents went to church there. So that's why we went there. I don't know if I would exactly recommend to anyone like, yeah, you should for sure put your kids in private school. I don't know how much it changed me or impacted me. I don't know how much better the education was, but
yeah.
I mean, I went to college.
Now, you trained for how long?
I trained from 7 till 18.
So about 10, 11 years?
Yeah, okay. For a really long time.
Now, you have been training for a while now because you're, in your mid-20s. Do you still consider yourself a martial artist or you feel like that's just something in your past?
Yes. I still remember everything. I think there's a certain mentality that someone who does martial arts has. You have a certain amount of respect for others. You are, at least for me, I'm pretty good about setting my own boundaries with people, and I don't have any issues with it. I find myself to be a very confident person in who I am and very set in my ways. And I feel like I learned, once again, to respect others, but I also learned that you don't just demand respect. It has to be earned. I felt like all my teachers earned my respect by being stern with me and teaching what I need to know, but they also showed me that kindness that I needed as I was growing up. They once again gave me a place to come and have fun and learn and play and not really play, but that's my favorite term to use. But just a place that makes you feel safe to learn, to kind of explore who you are and who you're becoming as you get older. And they also kind of put, I don't know, I feel like they just set a good example for me. But also I got I remember when I trained with you, you gave me, you'd be stern with me, but you'd also give me that little bit of teasing that I needed to learn how to deal with. I don't know, I needed that. The older brother, I'm going to be a little mean to you, but I still care about you kind of thing that I didn't really get because I had a younger sister.
Right. I'll ask the students, hey, raise your hand if you've dealt with a bully. And they'll raise their hand. All right, raise your hand if you've ever been a bully. And they'll kind of look at each other, not too sure. Raise your hand if somebody in this room has bullied you or you feel somebody's bullied you and they raise their hand. Who? And they'll slowly raise their hand and point to you. Exactly. But do you ever think that I don't like you? No. Do I ever treat you, with kindness and making sure that I'm there for you? They're yeah, you talk with us, because you're not going to live in a world where people are just going to be nice to you. You go to some schools and everyone's all right, everybody, okay, sweetie, great job. You are awesome. You are wonderful. No. Not all the time. And then, sometimes a little bit of bullying, but that's because that's how I grew up a little bit with friends and stuff like that. But it's never malicious, and it's always like, okay, there's a time to have fun. There's a time where we are in business. And like, I get that a lot from like talk to old students or even current students, like you kind of like pick on us a little bit, like, yeah, but
it's necessary.
It is. You have to have that type of thick skin where it's not malicious, but it's there.
And at some point, you become aware that it's not you picking on me to be mean. It's because you care. And it's just giving me thicker skin. Like, that also kind of goes into another thing that I learned while I was here is I learned to take criticism. I'm going to be honest. I feel like a lot of people today just can't handle criticism whatsoever. At all. Like any kind of constructive criticism. Like, you need constructive criticism to get better at things. You need it. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's perfect at anything. Like, there's just no way around it. You need to hear feedback from people. And for me, sometimes that's hard because I am someone, if you ask me for feedback, I'm going to give it to you and it's going to be honest. But I'm also have learned that I only give feedback to people if they ask for it. Because sometimes you'll give someone feedback who doesn't want it and they'll be like, well, I didn't ask for your feedback. But I think that everyone should almost be receptive to feedback as well, because everyone should want to grow and everyone should want to get better. Like for me, when I was practicing forms, I would always ask, Maria, can you watch me? Tell me what I did wrong. And I would write everything down and I would just want to be the best. Like, I want to get better. Like, I always had the same correction. I always like poked my thumb out like this. You
did the A all the time.
And I don't even know why I did that, but I did it all the time. And all the time I'd have written down, don't poke your thumb out, don't poke your thumb out. It was just a bad habit.
And you had the duck feet.
I still have duck feet. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with my hips. I learned that in school. And I just can't. Even like when I played volleyball, my coaches would be like, you run like a duck, try to put your feet forward. And I would try to put my feet forward and it would hurt. And then I went to school and I learned that you should not be doing that. Because some people with their hips, like sometimes their bones are a little longer and they have to put out. Sometimes that's planned. But yeah, sorry, side tangent.
Question.
Yes.
How much did you like or dislike the name Bone Crusher when I used to call you that? Because everyone had a nickname.
I didn't care.
You didn't care? Just because like you brought up like the slight picking on, like,
well,
a little
my dad
fun.
did the same thing. My dad always picked on us too. My nickname for the longest time was Gracie Goose.
Gracie Goose.
I hated it when I was younger, and now I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, you were always my Gracie Lou. But then whenever we're going to competition, you were a Bone Crusher. I forgot what I called Amy for the longest time, but I know she didn't like my nicknames.
It was like Long Leg or something like that.
Sticks or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, all the stuff you said, like, it does develop a thick skin because if you have good instructors, you have someone that's going to teach you how to take that criticism. Because even like whenever I've worked anywhere, whether it's security, whether it's I used to work at Express back in the day. I worked at a group home for autistic children. Whenever I would see other coworkers kind of get told, oh, hey, you got to do this or you're not doing this, or they would always take it very personally. And I know there's a couple times at work that, like, I'm working here, my security job that I do now, there's certain things that get said and it's like I get a little frustrated, but that's because I'm always the teacher. So you kind of stop getting that, like, oh, you're not the one in charge. And a couple times, like, I caught myself kind of getting a little like, what the hell? Then I was like, oh shit, wait a minute. I can't see what I'm doing. They're seeing me from a different perspective. I remember going up to my manager. I was like, hey, I apologize. I was out of pocket. I shouldn't have acted that way. You guys are right. You guys are the managers. I'm the employee. I got you. I ain't gonna do that again. Because I've been teaching this since I was 13. Yeah. I've always been like one of the higher ups and like I had to deal with it. But for the longest time now, it's like I'm the only one that says what's what here. So then I kind of wasn't used to it anymore. Yeah. That's one thing I do miss. I miss having a teacher. Like if I had the time to do something else, I need to go do something more where I have something that is kind of guiding me with something instead of just me being always the one. Yeah. It's a lot.
It is, because you don't ever stop learning new things. And maybe you don't need to learn new things in martial arts, but you can always learn how to be a better instructor, especially since kids are changing a lot nowadays. You have to learn how to navigate the way they behave, and you also have to navigate their parents.
Hardest thing, because you have some parents that are very like, they don't care until something happens.
Yes.
And then you have the ones that are too involved that won't ever let you lead, because you brought your kid to me for a reason. Like, you want your kids to learn, but all of a sudden it's like, no, this. And they want to make excuses. Oh, but there's this and there's this. Like, look. Excuses or not, here, something's going up. Cool, we could talk about it later, but right now, and they'll have the ones that kind of like want to interrupt, stuff like that. Dealing with parents is the hardest. Kids are easier. Like, I had a new student today, and this kid, he has a hard time with like failing at things. He never wants to try something new. And like, I wasn't letting him quit. We went through the whole spiel and everything. And the dad was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with him. I've had another kid who was just like that. And that first day, the mom was like, no, don't talk to my son like that. I was like, miss, you brought him here.
Let me do my job.
I got to do it. If not, then I apologize, but you guys can leave. And when I said that to her, she's like, well, okay. But it's like, you have so many, and it's really the parents. Like, kids haven't changed. It's the parents have changed, and the way that they teach, and it's factors. Not that the parents are bad. There's so many factors. Technology is the biggest factor. What schools will allow kids to do, because, the last generation of parents sued the hell out of them. So now so much stuff that kids can or can't do. And you have the parents that are trying to overcorrect. You have parents that just dive right into just letting these kids be technologically just babysat. So these kids are just being brought up so much differently. Trying to get through to them is so different. It's almost like they are, I almost say, like, a lot of kids show, because I worked in a group home for autistic kids. A lot of kids show signs of, high-level autism. Like, they don't have a development that other kids are getting, because all the interaction is screened out.
Yes.
They react with emojis. They don't react with their face. And it's very difficult when you're trying to teach a kid on the mat how to do something. Okay. You got it? Yeah. Are you happy? Are you sad? Like, it's all the same.
You also have to remember their parents are working a lot. So they are having things like meals, and their parents aren't eating with them, so they're eating by themselves. Or they're like, Mom, let me tell you a joke, and they're typing on their computer, and she's like, oh, that's funny, hon. Like, they're not fully interacting with their child either. I work in like the therapy world, and something that we see a lot is either parents are super involved and super invested in their child, which is great, but sometimes they push their child too far, or they want them to be further ahead than they really are. And then we have some parents who want to bring their kid once a week, and they're like, fix my child. And it's like, I can't fix your child in 1 hour if you're not doing any of the carryover or like the homework I'm sending home with them. But you also have to take into the fact that parents here are busy. They're possibly working multiple jobs, or they're working all night.
Yeah.
But you have to somehow find time to still parent your child. It's important.
And see, even nowadays, because kids aren't even allowed to do anything. I'm born in 1990. I was 8. Right when I started martial arts, I was able to go to the rec center and be a part of the rec after school. So, and there was no cell phone back then. So like, if my mom wasn't picking me up and she would pick me up from the rec, so I'd leave from school to the rec center. If my mom worked late night and I went home, I'm go to the park. Just walk to the park. How many kids really get a chance just to do that in a whole, especially in a bigger city? I'm here in Morgan Hill, you'll see a lot more kids kind of doing things like that. But like in cities and stuff like that, you really don't see kids getting a chance to just go be kids while their parents are busy in a way.
Yeah, but some of them also don't want to, because they're like, all my friends are on Discord, and I want to play games with all my friends.
You know what? I've heard that word before. I don't know what the hell that is. What's a Discord?
Discord is like a group chat. From what I understand, it's like a group chat that you can talk over with like people from anywhere, like in the country, and you guys could like play games together and talk to each other.
Like them old school.
And talk
I don't know if you know this, but the old school like chat rooms where everyone just put ASL. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. No, ASL. So on the old school chat rooms, you go on the big old thing, everyone's just talking, and then you like have a conversation, and then you might be able to like, oh, this person's cool, so you click on them, and when you have a one-on-one with somebody, you type in ASL, age, sex, location. So because you already had your screen name, so you type in ASL, or someone will ask you ASL. All right, I'm 14. I'm a male. I'm located in San Jose. And that's how you kind of got a little like one-on-one back and forth.
I'm 35. I'm looking for a 12-year-old girl to talk to.
Hey, but this was early internet. Internet. Like, so that's kind of what it was. Like, I remember we would go and rent space or time at the library to be on the damn computer to do so. Like, bro, like.
Yeah, but this one's kind of similar where you play like video games and you can either create group chats with like friends only.
Dude, I'm making myself sound so old right now.
Once again, this is from what I understand. I don't use Discord.
Okay.
Actually, no, I do have a Discord because there's like even like clothing companies will have Discords where people can go and chat about like products and stuff like that or see new things. Like it's literally just like a hub where people can talk about like minded things, like anything actually. Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of kids go on there because now they can talk to all their friends from school. They can play games together and still communicate. So if that's where all your friends are at, obviously that's what you're going to want to do. Like even like for parents who are like, my kid's never going to be an iPad kid. They're not going to have a computer. They're not going to have any of those things. Well, that makes it really hard because now you're cutting off their social interactions because that's where all their friends are doing. That's what where all their friends are at. Now they're getting left out that way. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation too.
Right on. Mm-hmm. Now, kind of getting back toward like your martial arts stuff, like what part of your martial art journey when you were in like, do you kind of like hold on to the most?
Honestly, when I started helping Maria teach.
Hell yeah.
Like I even look back at like how my job is now and I am kind of a teacher. Like a lot of the kids see me as teacher. I'm just past my boards to become an occupational therapist. I work with kids with different sensory processing disorders, autism, ADHD, some kids with different like kind of behavioral problems, stuff like that. So actually one of the kids, well, not even the kids, she was older than me and I still see her every once in a while today because she lives really close to me. She had Down syndrome and Maria would always have me come teach that class with her and would have me partner up with her.
I remember her. She was amazing.
Yes.
I loved her.
And she would always have me come to that class because I don't think she ever said this, but a lot of the kids wouldn't always want to partner up with her.
Yep.
But for me, I always found it so fun. Anytime we had a kid with Down syndrome, autism, like I wanted to work with them. I wanted to work with that kid, which makes sense. As I got older, I was like, I want to be a special education teacher. And my mom was like, no. She was like, have you explored like speech therapy or OT? And then I did behavioral therapy for a while. And I was like, I don't want to do this forever. Let me find something else. I started shadowing OT and it was awesome. And actually, martial arts is something that I recommend to a lot of parents who have kids with autism and ADHD because it gives them a safe place to get their energy out. You do a lot of work on the bags, so they're getting that heavy pressure that they need to help regulate their like nervous system. But yeah, when I got to start teaching is when I really started enjoying because I loved going to like my own classes and getting better. But teaching for me was so fun. I loved it. I had so much fun. Me and Maria would just I'd come super early in the day at like 4:00. And I loved working with the kids. I loved working with the younger kids. I thought they were so fun. She'd let me start the class and we would do all like the little running and the stretches and all those fun things. And she would always have me like watch the kids who were like running around not listening. And she was like, can you go help them stand still? But like even as I got older, I got to help out with more classes. And then I got to a point where I didn't want to go to my own class and I just wanted to teach. Because it was more fun.
Right.
And yeah, and I just had fun. And then like other people from my class would also come and teach the class before ours and we would all get to teach together and it was fun. And also teaching was great because it taught you confidence. And she liked to have me teach as well with her because I was kind of closer in age to the other kids as well. So we were able to get along and it was interesting to be able to, also I had to learn to navigate the whole being able to teach kids who are close to my age.
You are not their friend. You're their instructor at this point in time. That was hard. That's a very hard line to learn to kind of separate.
And I think I started teaching when I was 12 and it's great. I think having students who are really dedicated help teach is so important because they learn to be confident. They learn how to navigate different relationships because now some of these students are still their friends, but now you have to be the teacher of your friend. And there's that power struggle that you have to kind of go through at first, because once again, you can't demand respect. You have to earn respect.
Yeah.
And you also kind of have to set those boundaries too. Like right now I am teaching, we can be friends after, but I just really need you to listen and not distract me.
Yeah.
Which is hard. And I think that was a really good thing for me to learn, because once again, I needed that self-confidence, and I also needed to learn to set boundaries with people.
Definitely. Yeah, that's how I felt, because I tell a lot of students, like, dude, do you think I ever wanted to quit? And these kids were like, no. Like, when I was close to black belt, I wanted to quit. I kept begging my mom I want to quit. Yeah. And she just said, no, you did, the black belt club program. You pay, you're in a contract until you get your black belt. Cool. And she said, I've already done this. We're already committed. You get your black belt. She's like, once you quit, or once you get your black belt, you can quit. And with us, we have the whole probation period where to get your certificate, you have to train an extra year. So once my probation's done, I'm done. And then I went to year-round school my whole elementary school years. Okay. So I never had a summer vacation. Oh, okay. And then I get my black belt in middle school time, and then that's when my school shifted to a traditional time. So I had my very first summer right after I get my black belt, and I didn't know what to do. So since I had to teach, once a week at least, my mom would just drive me into Morgan Hill. I would teach, and I just started doing it every day. And after about a month and a half doing it every day, my instructor said, hey, I'll shoot you $150 a month if you want to just keep doing this.
Right, same for me.
And just make it a regular thing, this and that. And throughout middle school, I did it. And then I would do it sparingly in high school. I wanted my high school experience. So I just didn't want to teach every single day.
Yeah.
Did that, and then I completely, for a long time, forgot that my mom even gave me the option to quit, because once I started teaching, it was different, because I loved doing what I did. But then showing kids, even showing adult, teaching people, and then them getting it, it completely opened up my eyes. I got my black belt, started teaching, and then I remember there was one day that my instructor said, because he would pick me up and take me to private schools to teach. He said, what do you want to do? I was like, this. I want to teach I want my own school. I want to teach martial arts for the rest of my life. And he's like, cool, I'll help you. And I've been on this path, been doing it since I was forever. And a lot of people, how many people could say they've been doing the same job for 23 years?
Yeah, especially at your age.
Yeah. This is what I've been doing. So it's I have different jobs in between here and there, but I love it. Don't get me wrong, there's some downsides. There's some major there's a lot of sacrifices you have to do, because teaching martial arts, you teach in the evening.
Yep.
Monday through Friday, I'm teaching as soon as kids get out of school. Around my first class at 4:30, I'm here till 9.
Yeah.
Every day. So when all my friends are getting together for drinks after work or hanging out, this and that, I don't get a chance to do that. And then now when I've kind of lost a lot of my helpers because they've gotten older, they go do other things, they have jobs now. It's I can't just, you know what? Cool. Can you come cover my class this day? I'm going to go have some fun or do this and that. Yeah. It's I have to sacrifice. So there's some days I'm like, man, do I really want to do this? But then when I have that class of 5 to 12 kids and they're jamming and they're moving and grooving, it's I'm exactly where I want to be.
Well, because they're having fun too, and it's fun watching them have fun. But the minute they're no, I think what's hard, especially when they get to a point where they're that, especially that moment before they get their black belts, it's that red belt, maybe right before they start black belt training camp. It's not they're losing their spark, but they're almost losing a little bit of steam, because you get for me at least, I got into the habit. I would go, well, actually I had comp team, so maybe it was a little different for me, because I don't remember ever losing steam then. I remember losing steam after I think getting my secondary black belt was when I was okay. But I was also in high school, so that made a difference too. But you get in the habit of going to forms class, and you're going to the testing on Friday nights, and you have to cancel on your friends because you can't do anything on Friday nights because you have testing, and you have forms class. And forms class is so boring.
Oh my God, I've been doing this forever, and I still try to find ways of making it more fun. I really do. And it's just there's no way. And just attention spans, it's just a lot. But yeah, there is that, like I said, there's a point where I kind of wanted to quit, because it's I've been doing it for a long time. I was competing all the time too. But
for me, it was in high school, because I played volleyball and basketball as well, and it was really hard to juggle them. And I would go sometimes weeks without going in, and I'd feel bad. But I played other sports. Do I think it was good that I stopped doing martial arts for other sports? I don't know. It helped me make friends. Once again, I had that transition from private school to public school, so I kind of needed that to make friends. because.
How do you think that being in martial arts affected you playing sports in high school?
I learned what good coaches were in martial arts.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My basketball coaches were good. But I didn't care about playing basketball. I was there for my friends. I loved it because my friends played and we would go and we'd hang out, and all of us were really bad and we'd sit on the bench and we would hang out on the bench, and like we get to a point in the game where either we were losing by a lot or winning by a lot, and it was about time for us to go in, and you'd see all of us like time to duck and cover. We don't want to go in. But basketball was really fun. I liked my coach a lot. So I was in one of his classes because I did something called the Best Buddies Club.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And it was where we pair like mainstream students with one of the students in the special education class, and we go eat lunch with them like once a week. And that club meant a lot to me. I like to do stuff around the weekends. Once again, I wanted to work in some area of special education, so there was like everything I wanted when I got to school and I found that club. And he was really great because his class was a service learning class. So I was in it, and he knew I was only in that class because I wanted to do something for my club. And he was really supportive of that. So anytime like they had some kind of like weekend event where I had to miss practice to go and talk to like the Best Buddies Board of California, or like any kind of like, they had like sometimes different events like Special Olympics or anything like that. He was like, you can miss practice for this. It's okay. Now, my volleyball coach was not the same way. I had to miss a tournament once because I was the president of the club, so I had to go at the beginning of the year. They had this big district-wide meeting with all the Bay Area schools who have their own clubs.
Right.
I had to miss a tournament for it. He wouldn't let me play for like 3 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he wouldn't put me into a single game, and because I didn't put volleyball first. And I thought that was so ridiculous. And it kind of goes back to that I'm demanding respect, but I'm not going to earn it. And I always like kind of clashed with my volleyball coaches. I never felt like fully comfortable with them. Also, one of them was a weirdo, so that's probably for the best. I just never liked the whole, like, what I say goes. Like, it was never like not even like it doesn't have to be a discussion, but if you're going to tell me I'm doing something wrong, please explain to me what I'm doing wrong. Don't just yell at me. Like, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how to fix it. Like, for instance, they would always yell at me about my duck feet. Well, how do I fix it? Well, just put your feet straight. No, that's how you injure yourself really badly. I was always in some sort of pain when I played volleyball. I had a messed up shoulder. I had messed up knees. Like, I actually had to stop playing my senior year because the first day of tryouts, they would just let everyone who wanted to try out for varsity try out. And I was next to a girl who had never played before. She goes to serve the ball, and I kid you not, she tosses it in the air, and it hits me in the side of the head, and I get a concussion. And the year before that, actually, I had something similar happen to me where someone had served the ball, and it hit me in the back of the head. And at the time that happened, I didn't think anything of it. Well, 2 weeks go by, and I'm like constantly having headaches. I'm at a tournament, and I'm like telling one of the coaches, I'm like, yeah, I've been having headaches, because he's like, why are you in a bad mood? Like, yeah, we're not winning or anything like that, but why are you in such a bad mood? Why are you so tired? I'm like, I've had constant headaches since I got hit in the head with the ball. And they're like, oh, you should get checked for a concussion. Well, it's been 2 weeks, and I've been playing sports and sleeping on and whatever, and I go to the doctor, and they're like, oh, that's not great. But it's just like I didn't feel comfortable going to them, or they didn't notice that, like, injuries were happening. They never gave us, like, I never had a break really either. They would have us go for these like really long practices, and like people were just always, I remember students always being injured or always hurt. And like, I remember that not happening here. Like, I would get injured. Like, we were kicking each other.
Yeah.
Like, I went to a tournament once. It was that scrimmage. I got kicked in the face, and I didn't break my nose, but I had a bloody nose, and I had to go and fight like right afterwards again. But then I got to take a really long break. But you were aware that happened.
Yeah. Man, dude, the way that
like you guys were aware if like we were like
and that was the beginning
and like limping. You guys
that was
were
the
like,
beginning of those scrimmages too. Like, you know, your years when like people really started getting together and having those like, you know, we're not at a competition. We're just here to fight each other. All these different schools. It was good times, man. I wish we had that when I was younger because it was really like, you know, we'd have maybe a cross training here or there, but it was really just your team, your school, and you go to competitions and fight. So when the martial art community and Taekwondo really started getting together, do these type of like rumbles and scrimmages, there's some dope ones that we've gone to lately too. They're a lot of fun.
See, that's something that I miss because when I was younger, I didn't really appreciate because I remember us all, I don't know all of us, but I remember a lot of us being really anxious about those scrimmages. Like, I don't know if you remember us being like that, but for me, I was super nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I hate scrimmage days. These suck. Now that I'm older, like if you were like, hey, we're going to have a scrimmage. We're not going to kick each other that hard, but we're just going to hang out and like play around and fight. I'd be like, oh, sure. I'll come. It'll be fun. It'll be like, he could be like, everyone hasn't fought in a really long time. I'd be like, sure. But it would be fun. Like I think about now, like getting together with just a bunch of people who have martial arts backgrounds and just want to like play foot tag.
Do I remember? So your guys' group, so I was just 18, 19, like I was still young. So you guys got probably like the best version of me because I was a young, hungry instructor that could still move around and do things. I remember fighting with you guys. Like I would have my pads on. And
kick the shit out of me.
What?
You kick the shit out of me.
Bro, like, thank y'all for not reporting me because I used to crack you guys bad. Like, but I actually made you guys tough. I have one student, you know, Becky. Like to this day, like when I say wake up drill, she gets excited. And she wants to put a chest pad on and show everyone what that is. Because so, you know, don't wake up drills are back in the day. We used to do all the time. You put a chest pad on and you put your hands on your head and everybody in the studio just kicks you in the stomach. You yell, boom. You start crying. Coach picks you back up. Go again. Bod, you're getting kicked. Dot, dot, dot. So we do it. If you guys didn't do something or with this or something, we just started for no reason. And I have one student, she loves it because it toughens you up. That's what I was saying when like, what did like martial arts do for you in sports? For me, it made me tough. Like I remember in football, I was slow. I couldn't lift weights. I played football, so I know how to do football, but like Taekwondo made me tough. It made me so like I could be on the field, do whatever the coach needed me to do, and I would go after the biggest dude, just clack, because it just, I was used to getting kicked in the face. I was used to getting like the wind knocked out of me, bloody noses, stuff like that. So like that's what it kind of did for me. But yeah, so like, I remember we used to fight with you guys would tell me like, Coach, you ain't gonna put your helmet on? I was like, if you guys give me a reason to.
I remember you saying that, and I still look back on that and I find that so funny because you were like, you guys aren't going to hit me in the head.
You're not going to hit me in the head. And I think it was either you or Amy. One of you were the first one. So like I say, whoever hits me in the head, if you hit me, I said I'll give you like $5 or $10, something like that.
I think it was Amy. Yeah, I think she was super flexible.
You ended up getting me not that long after because I remember it was you two are the only ones that ever did back then. And I told you guys, whoever hits me in the head, you'll get some money. And it was just one day. Oh, you thought you were going to get it because you punched me in the face, but we weren't using our hands. We were doing Taekwondo sparring.
Oh, yeah.
And you accidentally punched me in the face. You thought that was going to count. It's like, no. But Amy,
I thought that.
but then Amy came around, gave me some nice little plop. I was like, and I just wasn't paying. It was like the quickest little thing. It was like, crap. I went over, gave her the money. But due to those,
I guess
some good times.
Well, because we got older and we got taller.
Yeah, you guys had finally kind of matched, and she got taller first. I think she was taller than you, right?
Oh yeah, I think taller than me.
She had just matched me, and that's when I don't really, because I'm with you guys all the time. Like I literally see you guys 3-4 times a week, so I wasn't really noticing that
getting taller
that thing. And we're just fighting. All of a sudden, like I was like, I'll show this, and boom, I got hit. And I'm like, oh man.
Well, especially because for both of us, we were December babies, so we always had to fight with the group older than us. So it had to be when we were like in that 11-year-old, 12-year-old range because we had to fight 13, 14.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you two were the only ones that wanted to continue fighting. It was just you two on my team for like that one season. I remember that season, especially like with you, because Amy, she did awesome. She won. You guys both won. You guys were state champions that year. And did we go to nationals just you two?
No, we didn't.
We didn't. You both won state that year, which was dope.
And both of us, like right after states, were like, yeah, we need a break.
We're done. But I remember when we got there and it was, we're waiting for your time to come up. They finally call you back. And all of a sudden we go to the back, the holding area. And the holding area, they had all the people you guys were about to fight right there. And I think it was just, your group was small.
It was just me and one other girl.
Yeah, her. And that Chola chick.
Yep.
She had just the one braid, and like she's over here just kicking the clapper, bah, and it's smacking. And I'm like, you got this, Grace. And me, I'm like, oh shit, my student's about to get knocked out. That was like,
and I don't remember why, but going into that fight was probably the most confident I had ever been for some reason. And I think it's because I was watching her, and I remember it very clearly. I was like, because we were not evenly matched up, but I was strong too. But I was strong, but I knew I was faster.
Yes.
And that was my weakness, was I wasn't the fastest, but I was like, okay, I know I can take a hit.
That's why I called you Bone Crusher.
And I know I can hit really hard. My problem was I was not always as fast as the other girls, but this girl, I was like, oh, I'm faster than her.
Yeah, but when she was kicking that thing, I was like, crap, you might be in for it. But then when we got on that mat, you started going, I was like, oh, let's go. Come on. And like, you hit her in the head. Bah, 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 bah. Like, I was like,
and then she
go.
hit me. Oh, and then we tied. And then I got one right before it ended. And I was so excited. Dude. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I won.
Like, no offense to all my old, my current and, team members between, like, you and Amy, like that group, like that whole group beforehand, like it was like fun. Like we had big teams. And when you guys just dwindled to you, like it was one of my most favorite times coaching because I had two people that wanted to be there, two people that wanted to compete. And just we're grinding. When it was just you two, the team got smaller because her brothers would train a little bit with us. I think Marcus still kind of trained a little bit before, but it was just you two that were still committed. And then we went to like, because that was down in LA that year or something like that.
Yeah.
And
it was in Brea.
We went and traveled, had a good old time. It was like, that was one of my,
before.
It was just I was just so happy. And it was just a great time. Like it really like, I tell my students about that time, about you guys specifically a lot, just like, people that wanted it went down. You guys were never like the best at first, but you guys just kind of grinding until like you said, you were, flat-footed. You had a hard time moving. So you weren't the fastest, so you learned how to adapt. Amy was straight up blind.
Yeah, but she was really fast and really flexible.
Really fast, really flexible. Like literally, like we would turn the lights off, make her take her glasses off and have her fight with even worse conditions because like, you have to learn how to fight the blob.
And then you'd always have me work on my footwork because I was extremely uncoordinated. And I'm still uncoordinated. Like I trip over everything. I'm always falling. Like we each had our weaknesses and we only ever really fought each other or you, which also is a challenge in its own way because when you don't have variety.
I'm an 18, 19-year-old man beating up, fighting like 15 or 12, 13, 14-year girls.
Because we were playing 13.
Yeah, you guys were young. You guys were tall though.
We were.
You guys were tall, but still.
I remember because that was the year we were both black belts and you were like, fuck. Because knockout rounds started at 13.
Because for those of you guys who don't know, Taekwondo, when you guys are, 12 and up, you guys can hit in the head. But when you guys are black belts, they had like, young black belt division. It's full contact knockouts.
Yep.
I mean, I remember in 2005, I fought and I got knocked out. Like, so like me, like noticing that, my two like diehard fighters, you're going to black belt division. It's like, that's happened to me.
And I think that's why you started training us not harder per se, but you started fighting us harder because you were like, okay, you guys have to be ready for this.
Yeah, like I was like, I wasn't that prepared for, I knew what the consequences were. I've been hit hard, been rocked, but like, the knockout never really happened before. So when that happened to me, it's like, that stuck with me. I was like, I gotta make sure. I
seeing it once on someone on our team, and I don't even remember if they were even in the black belt division, but I remember them getting a concussion and throwing up right after, because that's when I learned that you throw up when you get a concussion.
Not always.
Not always, but that was the only time that I learned that.
That year I got knocked out, I ended up getting 3 more concussions because of football. Actually, I take that back. 2 in football, and then I was a cheerleader in high school as well. And because of the schedule, I couldn't do like the rah, but I was doing the stunts. So I would lift the girls, I would do flips and shit like that. Well, after football practice one day, I went to go help out with stunts.
Yeah.
And we were doing a stunt where you lift the girl straight up with one hand.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time. I just came from football practice. I was having a hard time doing it. Yeah. And I finally get it. Boom. Nice. Did it. We set up, do it again. Boom. All of a sudden, like, why is she so light? She fell. Her knee gave out. Bink.
I was going to say the
just
foot fell on you.
Eyes rolled back in my head, everything. So that year, I ended up getting like 4 different concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like fun.
Those ones, I never got sick. I had another one a different year, and that's when I kind of felt nauseous from the concussion. But yeah, they're no joke. You got to be careful with those. You
do. I've had multiple concussions as well. And I'm pretty sure that when you get your first one, it's easier to get the next ones.
Yeah.
Because I got them for the most part in high school, but you never know.
Yeah.
I could have gotten when we were training and whatever. We were kicking each other in the head all the time. It was kind of fun though. I think about it every once in a while and I'm like, oh, that was fun. Like we had all our friends, especially when the team was like really, really large and there were so many different personalities. Me and Amy were really close from the very beginning because we were the only girls.
Yeah. It's funny though.
In trouble.
My girls have always been the better fighters but they're the ones that want to quit sooner. The boys, they're like at first little sissies, and then they get to that point. Oh, let's kind of like get into this. They want to stay a little bit longer, but then they don't push themselves that hard. So by the time they get to that point, like let's go. Now they're in these higher divisions that they can't handle. Then it kind of like intimidates them at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like even right now, like you've met my other student Javina. She was with me for a long time, and back they were like some of my top fighters too. And then now like the little brother Andres and certain other ones that I've been training with recently, they just started hitting this little mark. We went to a competition recently, and it was 5 kids in the division. 2 of them were mine. So my boys both fought these 2 kids, and those 2 kids were from the same school too. Beat them, and then one of my boys fought another kid and destroyed him. So they had to fight each other for the gold. And I was like, hey, you guys want to fight each other or just do flip a coin? Let's fight each other. Yeah. So I'm just right there in the middle watching them fight. And I'm just kind of coaching both at the same time. That was weak. Like just talking smack, but they were going off. Like we had so many people watching them because like literally like the last year and a half, they both kind of hit this little like switch where they were just like doing really well. And they it was awesome. See, like I was just
and when
all
you
hyped
start
up.
that like winning streak, your confidence goes up. You feel a lot better. You have a lot more fun because when you go on a losing streak, is not as fun.
Yeah.
Then you start dreading the competitions, but then you start winning again. You get really excited again.
What sucks is I'm not saying that I was amazing, but like local competitions, I was always one of those pretty decent kids. So I would always win a lot, whether I'd take first or second, but I was never like losing all the time. Yeah. And then I went all the way to nationals. And then when I went to nationals, I got destroyed my first fight. So I didn't even make it to the later rounds. So I'm over here and I got beat. And I sat there and watched all the fights. And we had like 30-something, 40 kids in the division. So I'm sitting there for like almost 2 hours waiting. And then like, I was like, I'm never doing this again. Yeah. And I had to watch the fights. Like they showed me the video. Like the kid I fought was good. And the kid I fought for gold. He got second, but he fought for gold. So I didn't lose to no scrub. Yeah. But like, at first all discouraged, but then I watched it. I was like, I wasn't doing horrible. This kid's really good. He was just outclassing me a little bit. So I was like, cool. So I kind of go back to the drawing board. My next season, I lost a lot. Yeah. So I was like, maybe not. And then you start things start clicking again. You start moving around. Then you start going on a winning streak. So like when I came to state, I always won. I always qualified for nationals. But to that next level, it's a whole new level. But yeah,
especially nowadays, like competition has changed a lot. Like just the sport has changed a lot.
Dude, I dislike it with a passion, but I still love it because when we fought, it was a fight. It was brawl.
Yeah, you get in there, boom, boom, hit each other as hard as possible. Like it was kind of fun.
Yeah. Nowadays, because of the electronics and the way that certain things are, you have to be more technical, more flexible. It's a lot more athletic to a degree. I think the athletes were better because you had to fight hard and do a lot of cool things. Now you kind of have to have like a different type of finesse as you fight nowadays.
Even the scoring's different. Like the scoring's a lot higher.
Yeah. So back in the day when because I think you guys got an opportunity to fight with a double 2 points to the head, or was it still single?
It was 3.
3 points.
And if you did a spinning kick to the head, it was 4.
Oh yeah. So it's still similar to that, but like it's slightly different. So when I was competing, everything was 1 point. You kick someone in the head, 1 point. You kick someone in the body, 1 point. Kicking someone in the head was a pride thing. Yeah. And then nowadays you could score a point for a punch in Taekwondo.
I heard that.
But back then, the only way you could do that is if you knocked them down. Because if you knocked them down, they get a warning. So many warnings, you get an extra points. Like this whole weird like system, but it was all just brawl. Whoever's the more dominant person wins. That's why I loved how it was back then because it was more of a fight. Even though it was mainly kicks, it was a brawl. I remember like if you can't put your hands up, you can't protect your head. So we get close and we just deck each other in the arm, try to give someone a dead arm so that we can come over the top and kick him in the head. It was some good times. But now it takes away a lot of the dirty play and you kind of do more of like trying to find the point these days. It's still fun, but...
Also with like the scoring system, it's based off of like, does the scoring system pick up that you've hit the person? So you don't really want to like start off kicking them too hard either to begin with.
It's better than when yours because you guys had weird. You guys had the introduction to the electronics.
Yeah, that was a hot mess.
The electronics now are way better.
Well.
It's way better.
I remember for us when the scoring system first came out, like you'd hit someone like square in the chest and just wouldn't count.
Wouldn't count. You kind of see that sometimes now, but they've gone a lot better. Because now because there's a whole PSI thing that they do. So if you are heavyweight 14-year-olds, you have to hit a certain PSI. So you'll see the kick, you'll see a little marker on the scoreboard that it recognizes you hit them, but it wasn't hard enough. So you have to like hit really hard now. Head you just have to touch because they don't want to have PSI for the head because for the smaller divisions or the non-knockout divisions, if you do that, then kids are getting knocked out all the time.
Yeah.
Some of the knockouts though, like, dude, there's a young man. He's from the Bay Area. He went to the Olympics last year. Oh, cool. I think he just fell out of the third medal round. Like he won his first 2 matches here. Amazing. I watched him since he was little. Like, I would tell my students, watch this kid. Watch it. He's amazing. But he went to the Olympics. Like, he has this one amazing clip online somewhere. His name is CJ? No, not CJ. Yeah, CJ. His name is CJ, and he has this thing where he throws a back kick, and he turns the back kick into a switch back wheel kick. Back! And clocks the dude in the head. So like nowadays, like the athleticism, having to try to find and tag these points, it's crazy. Like the stuff, like seeing what he does is just phenomenal. That's why, like, I still love the sport because so much that you can do with it. Like, once you learn the game, you really just see this crazy, like, amount of just technique and skill. And it's a chess match. It really is. Like, you try to find where you go, trying to find a way to evade the point and everything. That's why I still kind of stick with it. Like, I do sometimes veer away because I want to be more self-defense based these days. Because a lot of kids really aren't driven, at least around here, driven to do competitions that much. So I try to really stick with, okay, let's learn how to box. Let's learn how to grapple. Let's stick to this. And then we treat our competition as a secondary thing. Yeah. I mean, we kind of always have.
Yeah. It was always like classes come first and then competition.
Yeah. Like you got to learn how to, do your basic stuff first. And then if you want to compete, we have the weekends for us to do the extra trainings as well. Yeah. So.
Because ours was always on the weekends. It was Fridays and Saturdays because we had to drive all the way to Morgan Hill in the traffic and we'd be late. We'd get in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, you train under me for most of your days. Yeah. Am I one of the hardest instructors you ever had? Or like, as an instructor, was I like the hardest on you?
Yes, but in a fair way.
In a fair way. That's what I try to tell a lot of students because we were having a conversation earlier, but like certain types of like coaching or parenting. Some people want to be just so like baby a child or, be so gentle parenting with their kid, or they go the complete opposite. And I've commented over the years, because I've gotten older, sometimes I get a little more frustrated, a little less patient, that like I kind of go the little, like I'm a little too, rough or mean or strict at times. And like the last couple of years, I try to kind of get back to that youthfulness I used to have and try to be not gentle, but less like, no, like, but I always tell my students, like, look, yeah, I might be on you a lot. I might be, a little like strict or stern in your face at times. But if I'm the meanest person or the hardest person you have to deal with, I just helped you go through this life, not having to really worry about, can I handle somebody in my face? Like, I'm preparing you for the future because you're going to go to a job you hate and you're going to have to deal with a manager that might even be younger than you sometimes. And are you going to be able to deal with it? Yeah. So like, has that like, because I know Maria's very similar, like she and I are very similar in that way. So you kind of had it from both of us.
Yeah. So this kind of goes for teaching and parenting as well, especially parenting nowadays. So a lot of people like to have the gentle parenting style. They don't like to set rules. They don't like to set really expectations for their children. Like if they're misbehaving, like some parents will like to take the route of, well, they have to decide that they're done doing this. For me, it's not my favorite type of parenting. I recently did my project and I talked about different types of parenting styles. And that kind of falls into like the permissive parenting style where they want to be their kid's best friend. And a lot of parents who find themselves in that permissive parenting style typically come from parenting households where their parent was like the authoritarian type of parent, where it was like, my rules, the way I want everything to go. This is the way, like, if you get in trouble, you're getting punished. So they want to take the complete opposite route because for them, being under that, like, super authoritarian parent was not fun for them. So they want a completely different relationship because they're like, well, I didn't have a great relationship with my parent because of this. Well, they've done, like, a lot of research, and what we really want is, like, an authoritative parent where you have the parent who can set boundaries for their kid, who can still set rules, who can still teach their child that they're doing things that are wrong and how to be respectful to others and why they can't behave a certain way. But you also have created an environment where the child feels safe. So if they're in trouble, they will tell you. They're not fearing you, but they're not afraid to make mistakes, and they're willing to work on that. And as a parent, you can help them through that. And same with being a coach. failed all the time. Like we were doing bad stuff all the time. We were messing up. We weren't doing great. But you would be like, okay, now we're going to work on it. Let's get better. Let's work on things together. Like it was never just like you're going to get punished. Like there were punishments because we did do things that we weren't supposed to, like being late. So that was a big thing. Being late and doing push-ups outside.
Outside on the knuckles.
Down on that one. That was not fun. I hated that. And it wasn't you. It was never the person who was late. It was everyone around. So you had to sit there and watch your teammates do it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, I had people talk to me about that, and I'll do it to this day. Like if somebody messes up big time, I'll make everybody else on the team do push-ups while they look at you. And then, all right, y'all, pad up, let's fight. Yeah.
It's like so awkward because you're standing there and you're like,
yeah. I mean, I'm a dad. Like my daughter's 4 now, and I always tell people like, I'll talk about you, I'll talk about Amy, I'll talk about Bradley, I'll talk about all the Aaron and Eric and Tyler, like all these kids. Like I was young enough where I was like a big brother, but like the way that I was with you guys and the way that your parents kind of gave me rank. Like one time we were at a competition and your mom, I was like, oh, we're gonna do this. She's like, she's your daughter this weekend. What do you like?
Yeah.
The way you guys kind of gave me that base to be a dad. And people used to always tell me too, like, oh, if you have a kid and you have a daughter, you're gonna become such a softie. But I was like, I would tell them, no, I'm not, because of you, because of like what you're saying, what I'm seeing from these bad kids and the way that I'm working with you guys help me become like, I'm a good dad. I'll stand on that business to this day. And it's because of you guys. It's because of what your parents, how the trust they gave me and like what we did as a giant unit. And I'm with my daughter. Like my daughter gets all the love for me, but if she messes up, I'm on her. I don't care if we're in public. Like we'll say, hey, knock it off. Like I'll be that guy. Yeah. If she falls down and she starts crying, get up, come here. Like, and like she's at the point where she's like self-sufficient. She's fine. Like she's, a lot of people do tell me that they're impressed with her. It's because I have so much experience working with people and having you and all these people that come in and out of my life to help me kind of learn, okay, I'm dealing with kids. I've dealt with kids at a very young age. I've seen them grow up to adults. I've seen where it could be bad, where it could be good. I've seen people that I thought were great parents and their kids are the worst. And I've seen the opposite. But then I also see all these parents that provide or do certain things for their kids. There's a strictness there, but there's also a loving there. There's all these things, and I've been able to pick and choose and just kind of really mold myself into the person that I want to be for my kid. And I'm really grateful for even just what I do. And I believe that's martial arts in a nutshell, because I have instructors that I had that there's a lot of parts about my instructors, my coaches that I just don't believe are really good, but there's so much positivity that I did catch from them, because I know I'm not perfect. Yeah. There's a lot of things in my life that I'm not the proudest of, but it's like, I put that on the table. I'm not perfect. I'll tell my students some of the bad things that I have done within reason, but like I'll tell them because, you can't just say it has to be this way. Yeah. You got to give them reasons why. You can't just like knock it off. You can't do that. Why? There is a give and take. And
that's what's so important is you have to explain to people the why in general.
Yeah. Like maybe not every single time, but there's got to be some type of, like my daughter's 4, but I'll have these conversations. I'll talk with her. And even if she don't remember now, she's going to remember that her dad and her are having these conversations.
Like, you can't run out the door. Well, why can't I? Because some kids you say something to them like, you can't do this. And they're like, well, now I want to.
Now I want to.
But now if you say to them, you can't run out the door because there are cars moving, you're going to get hurt. Then they're like, oh, well, I don't like getting hurt. Yeah. Like, I don't like that. It's also learning like consequences and stuff like that. Like I think that's also something I learned while I was here. Like, I can't come, let me think. Like, I like to show up to class a little bit early because you would be like, you need to have all your pads on and everything. Because if they weren't on, you only have a certain amount of time to put all of them on. And if you're late,
wake up drills.
Yeah. Or run or something. It's cause and effect. Like, and we learned really fast that we need to show up early. We need to have our stuff on. We need to be prepared, which is also a skill you need to now have, like with a job, with honestly, even like meeting friends and stuff like that. You don't have to be super early, but you should be relatively on time. Like, people aren't going to want to hang out with you if you're late everywhere.
Exactly. Well, I think this is a great first podcast of the MAQ Attack podcast. And again, thank you very much. Not only for coming to this podcast, but again, for being my student, for us staying in contact over these years, even just trying to have a relationship with my daughter. Like, I love that you try to be a part of that and just try to see her from time to time. It's just amazing that, you guys help me be the person I am so that my daughter can have the best version of me as I can. So again, thank you very much. And again, y'all, this is the MAQ Attack podcast, martial art, life, past, present, and future, and how it just kind of affects us all. Hopefully this is the first of many. This is
Grace.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a great one.